Today just talking about how I learned to produce music and also how you can learn it and what are the best techniques and what's important to be a music producer.
Sometimes I still need you.
Today is Sunday. It's not really a hangover day. I don't feel hungover, but I still had plenty to drink yesterday. We have nothing to drink at home except for beer, and there's no way I'm drinking alcohol again the next day. I had the pizza yesterday with all of the garlic on top, so I'm super thirsty walking now to the only place that is open on Sunday. I hope your country is not the same, where everything closes on Sundays for no reason. Hello. Just a couple of snacks and my favorite beer, but it's one without any alcohol. Since I don't have a hangover today, there won't be a hangover story time. I'm today not in the studio. I've been thinking about talking about a question that a lot of you have been asking me in the past couple of days. It was mostly about how I actually learned to produce music and what the best way would be for you to learn it. Before I get into the topic, let me get rid of the jacket and have a couple of snacks. A couple of snacks later, the only stuff left are these white mices. I don't like them. Vanessa doesn't like them. I think nobody likes them. Oh, and I forgot the light. This should be now a lot better, so let's just start with the topic. I started, I think maybe 8 to 10 years ago with producing music. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I just bought Logic, installed it, and tried it out. Because at that time I had the feeling that only DJing was a bit boring. I wanted also to participate in this kind of scene of people that create music and also play it. So I just bought Logic, installed it, and kind of tried it out and tried to teach it myself. It took me quite a long time to just learn the program. At the time where I started, there was not really any tutorial video online available. You really had to read the manual or go to a library, get a book, and there weren't really a lot available, and these books were for very old Logic versions. I think the first time I really had something that was a tutorial, a video that explained a lot, was watching the Future Music magazine videos. I think all of them are now available online on YouTube for free, but these videos really helped me to get an insight how other producers work, getting some tips and tricks here and there, seeing new plugins, new ways to achieve something. But then after a couple of years I kind of hit a wall where the tutorials didn't help me anymore. I had the feeling I've already seen every tutorial that was out there. So the only thing that helped me to advance was just making one track after the other track. And I think when you learn the program, that's the only way to really advance. Just make one track after the other and you will eventually end up with the sound where you want it to be. This of course just takes a long time. It's mostly about that. If other producers ask me how I get my sound, I usually say it's experience and just doing it a whole lot. And that's pretty much it. I think no one would ever ask a soccer player why he's such a good soccer player. We all know the answer to it. He just started early, trained a lot. Maybe 5% of it is genetics and just having the right body to play it, but even without it you can still succeed without a problem. It's really about dedication, putting a lot of hours into it and repeating all over again. I can't even tell how many times I've sidechained the bass, like a million times. How many times I've EQ'd a bass or a kick, million times, and that really helps you to do it right on the next track. And the funny thing is, even when you learn the program, you watch the tutorials, you have your techniques, you found your style, you made tracks, you released them, even then it's not like you just start a track and make it in a few hours and it's perfect. It's every time, every track is again a little fight to finish it and to make it better than the one before. And I haven't even talked about the musical stuff. Before you even start producing, you need to know how to write music. If you're not good in writing music, it will be really difficult for you to learn it at a later age. I taught myself music theory, everything about it. Also guitar playing, piano playing. I'm really not good at it. I could never play live in front of people. I'm just way too bad for it. But to record it, correct it, and record it again until it's good enough, that I kind of can do for my own tracks. So if I had to give a tip to a young producer just starting out, I would give the advice to just get a DAW, Logic, Cubase, Ableton, maybe Fruity Loops. Reason is a bit unnecessary, complicated and gimmicky. Pro Tools and all these other ones are more for recording than for producing music. And with the package, for example with Logic, you get a lot of synthi sounds and plugins. You get basically everything you need to at least make your first real track. And then basically just drag a track into Logic, for example, and try out the plugins. Just put them on top of the track and listen to them what they're doing. If you, for example, just take the chorus, it has one knob and one fader. Try out and listen what they're actually doing. It's not important really to know what they're actually doing. It's way more important to know what it sounds like. So what happens if I turn up or down the cutoff? You don't need to know how the system behind it is really working. It doesn't hurt to know it. But first of all, really concentrate onto listening, because that's what music is all about. And at the end, nobody cares how you did it. Nobody cares if you sampled something. Nobody cares if you used a preset. If the track is good and people like it, then you've exactly achieved what your main goal should be. Also, for example, when I get a new plugin, I just try it out until I know what everything is doing, so that the next time I'm working on a track and I need something that does this specific thing, I know exactly where to find it. Also at the beginning, don't buy too many third-party plugins. You won't need all of them. Make sure you just get the stuff you really need, because if it's too many plugins, too many soft synths, it's a bit overwhelming. You will sit in front of your DAW and not really know which one to choose, and also not really know how to use it and get the sound out of it that you want. Of course, also watching tutorials can help and motivate and show you new techniques and new ways to do things, but be careful with it, because I see with a lot of younger producers, they see, for example, their favorite DJ doing parallel compression, and this favorite DJ is saying in the video it's making a fat drum sound. And then the young producer is thinking, okay, I need this parallel compression to get fat kicks. But if you've never completed the track, never released the track, don't really worry about so specific things as parallel compression, bus routing, layering. Also be careful not to become one of these super nerds that knows every plugin, knows every outboard gear, knows every technique, but also has never finished a track. Because for me, my main goal is to make a track, a good track. And I don't really worry too much about which plugin and all these kind of things. Also, when I talk with other producers, I'm not really so interested in that. It's a tool, it helps me to achieve what I have in mind, and that's basically it for me. Another big factor that will help you to advance with your music is to hang out with other people that produce music. Send them your tracks, get feedback from them. They are not so stuck in the track, they can see it from more distance and still have a big knowledge about music production, and these tips and this feedback will help you more than anything else. My way of dealing with feedback is usually that I listen to it, then I think about it. Then if I think, yeah, this might be true, I try it out, bounce out different versions, compare them. But at the end, the track that I'm releasing, that's really my decision to do it like this. It's my vision, it's my name on the record. I'm the one that has still to like it in 5 years or 10 years and stand behind it. And it's my duty as an artist to really make the final call. There's one thing I haven't actually talked about at all, and that's kind of the classic way to learn stuff, and that would be just to go to a school to learn how to produce music. And I'm honestly not such a big fan of it. Some people have great success with it, but for me it's like that. The second somebody tries to teach me something and it feels like school and a bit forced and I get homework and this kind of stuff, I immediately lose interest in it. So for me it's usually better to just do the things that I like. And I truly believe that when you teach something yourself, you will never forget it. It's a bit harder to get there, but then you really know each and every step in between, instead of just having someone else to tell you to do it like this and you actually don't know why. If you try it out yourself and find your own way, it will also help to have a own style and really make music that is your own style, a bit more unique. And this is also what will separate you from other people. And that's one of the biggest factors I love about electronic music. It's the scene of people that actually don't have a clue what they're doing, but that's what's making this music so amazing and so unique, so versatile. And I'm every time surprised by new tracks coming up that are just different than anything else that I've heard before. I think at the end the best place to learn how to make music is just by listening to other people's music, analyze it, think about how they've done it, maybe even think about how you could do it with the techniques and the tools that you have. And over the years you will learn a lot of techniques, will be able to apply them whenever they're necessary. And the more you know, the more versatile you are, the more you will get close to what is in your head, what you really want to achieve at the end. It's like with drawing. We all have, for example, a landscape in our head and want to draw it, and probably none of us is really capable of drawing it like it's in our head. But if you train a lot, then you will learn techniques how to get the picture that is in your mind onto the paper as close as possible. But this takes years, this takes effort, and it's the same with music. I will today watch one of the master classes, I think the one from That Mouse, and I hope I won't fall asleep. My problem is usually with tutorials that they get a bit boring. I don't know why. It's like watching documentaries. It's very good to fall asleep, so I will try that out and let's see what That Mouse has to offer in his €90 masterclass. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I will find out and let you know. And yeah, I think that's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what your best way is to learn new stuff, how you learn to produce music. Would be really interested to see how you deal with teaching yourself stuff. By the way, I've just talked straight 10 minutes or so, and Vanessa was the entire time behind the camera on the couch playing Mario Run. It's now time to join her before watching the tutorial. I think I will do it later in bed when she's already sleeping.